walking away and I was thinking about that, because I heard from so many of you last night, text messages, hanging out in the marketplace, seeing people together, and I am convinced what happened last night was an act of God. Do you agree with me on that? I know many of you, and I feel bad for our trainers that work so hard that we're going to present, and we're going to find a way to get that, get them to do that for you and make that available to you, because it's really, really good. Amber and Brooke and Elizabeth. But it was so awesome seeing people connect and talk and chat. I personally got to do that with a lot of you last night, and so I do believe it was an act of God. And I think when you are with a company like Premier, you have to be aware when acts of God are happening, right? You got to step back for a second and say, hey, let's just let it happen, right? Let's just go with it and see what happens. So I get so excited about that. You know, we've talked about a lot of new stuff here. We got new jewelry, right? We got some new programs. Who's excited about the new jeweler perks being an ongoing thing, right? Yeah. I heard from a lot of you about the new $3.95 renewal package, right? Yeah. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and you might have heard some of it or confused some of it. Here's something really cool. As you leave this afternoon on the Chic Space. By the way, how amazing is the Chic Space podcast? Please tell me you are listening to that on a regular basis. It is so vital. It's such a great way for you to stay connected. But today, there's not going to be one, but 2 episodes that are going to be dropped on the Chic Space. One is going to be from Gretchen, talking all about the new jewelry, filling you in on that. And then one is going to be me walking you through, again, some of our new programs, ways that you can put them into use, and all of that good stuff. That way you've got some, if you haven't heard enough from me now, you can spend an hour on your way home, and boy, you're going to just love it. Yeah, no, that's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. Yeah. No, it'll be great, though. I've even got some things I'm going to share at the end of this time that you don't know about yet. Y'all take notes? I love this little notebook. You like this? I took notes. I took some really good notes. Here's some of my takeaways. First off, man, sharing on Friday night our new jewelry with Mackenzie and Tanisa and Shalisa. Did they not rock it or what? That was so awesome. So awesome. One of the things I wrote down that Mackenzie mentioned, I think she was talking about one of our bracelets, and this was the description. Because the colors and shimmer and the stretching. That's like the best description ever. We're going to update our marketing with that. That's so good. That's like, hey, there we go. We talked about daddy dolls, right? Tanisha, you talked about... Tanisha, if you remember, she talked last year. She talked about how she just watches what everybody else does. She goes out and steals it and kind of makes it her own. This year, she took it even overboard. She was just like, I stole your pictures. I'm going to put it on the screen, right? Like, keep an eye on her. We need to check her pockets before she leaves. But this is like an issue, right? This is an issue. Man, we had so many great trainers. Haley, one of the things I love that Haley shared was share hope courageously. Man alive, that does not sum up what we are to do as jewelers in 3 words. I don't know what does. Share hope courageously. And then we heard from Gina Gravatt. Gina's always a great trainer. She's a minister's wife too, by the way. I think you guys know that. Last year, she taught us how to give everyone the finger. This year, she said, hey, be ready to flash it. You know, at any given moment. So, it's a church in California, so, we don't talk like that in our church. That was great. We had our panel with Gayla and Tammy and Diane and Stacy. Boy, that was a good one, right? And I think it's such an important topic about how do we do this when we're doing other stuff, right? If you've got another job, full-time job, part-time job, your family's your job, whatever it is. That's what direct selling, that's what Premier's all about, right? It's about, hey, we're trying to find another way for you to make ends meet. We're trying to find another way for you to connect. We're trying to find another way, in our opinion, even a better way to build relationships and to become more. And I thought that was so good. And I loved when Diane threw down and just went with a little yacky yak back on track, right? I mean, that was nice. That was really good. And I love too, and I forget which one said this, but they said, just because you don't know what to say, please don't not say it. Isn't that important? How many times do you not say or bring something up that has to do with Premier, and you get all lost in saying the perfect thing, and you don't say anything at all. Let me just tell you, the worst thing that you can say is nothing. Right? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the words. I was trying to share some of this on Facebook, but Facebook, I think, shut down when I tried hashtag busy women know how to get things done. It's just like we've never seen one that long before. Right? But anyway, we crashed Facebook with that one. Sarah, man, Sarah's wonderful. Sarah Emmer, yeah, the pearls of wisdom. You know, and I love, she gave us all, I think, a really extremely practical takeaway too. Her strategy, I think a lot of us can put into place. Reach out to your ex-boyfriend's mothers and see if So, I mean, we're talking about relationships coming together here. I think this is going to be great. I think it's going to be awesome. Man, Wendy and Amy, man, they just gave an absolute clinic on hostess coaching. And by the way, that is something that is so easy to overlook. And yet, if we are truly trying to serve people, man, we've got to serve our hostesses. They're the ones that are stepping up and willing to help us, right? And do exactly what we're asking them to do. So we got to do that. We got to be diligent about it. We got to be methodical about it. But we also got to make sure that we are serving them in the midst of that. And I thought that was so awesome. And of course, Kim shared with us how we keep it personal with our gym members. And I loved her pool strategy. That's one of the things I wrote down. That pool strategy of not using social media to just shout everything that you do. Right? Come by for me, come do this, host a show for me, look at this. But be aware. Learn about other people. All right? And have that pool strategy. Then we had the sparkle plan from Bob. Vanessa Williams suddenly is a tennis player. Hey, we've all been there, Bob. Yep. And obviously we learned, as he looks upon us, he thinks of us as mother sea turtles. I actually thought that was a really good analogy. None of us want to be there, right? The sponsoring panel, that was an awesome, awesome panel that Jennifer led with Alyssa and Camilla. Wow, that was great. Well, someone told me it was great. I could not stop looking at Camilla's earrings. Like, I was just mesmerized. What a creation. That was awesome. I loved it. And then we talked about, we just heard from Aisha. And I do love, the heart is a muscle, right? We've all heard that. We've heard sermons and talks on that. You got to work it out. And I want to see each and every one of you work it out as we go. I think what she had to say, though, about setting your own pace is so crucial. You heard it from Presley, too. I'll talk about her in a minute. But we compare ourselves to so many things and so many other people. And in the meantime, we lose sight of what the right pace is for us, what the best next step is for us. And I truly believe this, I think that is Satan's greatest weapon. Is when you are making progress, he's going to try to shine a light on someone that it looks like is making more progress. Or when you're about to do something that matters, he's going to show you something that might make you think, it probably doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter like that. But here's the whole thing with that. It doesn't matter if what you're doing that matters more than the thing that she's doing that matters. The thing that matters is we all do whatever it is that we need to do that matters. Right? If we don't, if we're letting this person over here do what they do that matters, and we think it's so awesome and great, and we're like, well, I'm not going to do what I think matters, then there's a lot of matter that ain't happening. Okay? And we all need to do what matters. I'm also looking forward to taking some noise-canceling devices to the office. Tim, I'll have them handy in there. Just know that they're there. Slip them right on whenever I need to. I'm thankful we had our stories. Man, Don, great job. Don Pantoa. Oh my goodness, what an amazing story. It took courage for her to share that. It takes courage for her to do what she's doing every single day. And at the same time, like Gail told us, so many $1,000 shows in the midst of everything that she shared with us. That takes courage. It takes courage for Presley to come up here and share what she did. Right? With you. You know, yeah. Give her a hand. You know, it's one thing, it takes courage to share that story anywhere, but to share that story in front of her family, in front of people that know her, in front of people that have context like nobody else would, man, a lot that takes courage. And then to hear this morning from Gina, everything that she was talking about, I'll say her husband, man, it takes a lot of courage telling your wife what to do like that. And then to turn around when she comes home from church, tell her she looks horrible. I mean, that takes courage. No. Hey, we are surrounded by courageous people.
Yes.
We are, let's feed off of that. We are surrounded by courageous people. But here's the thing. Courage does not happen naturally. Right? Would you agree with that?
Yes.
You just wake up and it's like, there we go, another day, I'm courageous. Right? That does not happen. Courage does not happen naturally. So, we have to choose courage. We can't just wake up and be courageous. We have to choose courage. We have to choose courage to be an ambassador for Premier. We have to choose courage to work with that hostess. We have to choose courage to share the opportunity with other people. We have to choose courage to keep having those shows, even if people no show. We have to choose courage in every single one of those situations. And so as we close out, not just rally, but as even we look into the fall and the rest of the year, I want you to choose courage. I want you to ask yourself right now, what is it that you're going to have to do to choose courage each and every day? Some of you have some great practices in place probably already. We heard from Connie Allred at our designer lunch, and she was sharing all kinds of just great practical things that she does to help get her mindset right in place. And that's amazing. What are you going to do? But here's something I'm going to say. You might agree with this, you might not. I'm the one up here, so I can say it. I think if you're not encouraging, you're discouraging. Okay? Okay. If you're not, now some of you might be sitting there and saying, no, I think it's like somewhere in between there that's neither one of those things. But look, if you're not doing things, saying something, taking action, whatever it is, that's encouraging, then the only thing left is discouragement. Someone said it, and I can't remember who it was, but there's so often we have things that are encouraging that we're thinking about someone, but they never meet our lips, right? Mm-hmm. And so if they're stuck here, then they can't encourage someone else, right? And a lot of times when someone is in need of that encouragement and you've got it, you're just not sharing it, it actually becomes, the silence is discouraging, right? The fact that you're in their life, and don't take that for granted, God's placed you there. He put this encouraging thought in your head, but he's saying, I kind of want it to exit the body so that they can hear that, right? I want it to be encouraging. Because he knows in that moment they need to hear it, right? If you don't do it, the silence, it's nothing. It's so discouraging. So, what do we have to do to make sure that we are encouraging? What do we have to do in every possible thing that we do to put courage in others? The other part of this is you will be discouraged. It'll happen. It's going to happen. On this side of heaven, we're just filled with tons of it. Okay? So, what will you do when that happens? You cannot avoid it. Okay? If you're trying to avoid it, that's a losing game. Okay? But what are you going to do when it happens? Right? You're going to get a different interpreter, like Aisha was just talking about. I think some of us have the wrong interpreter buzzing in our head all the time. Nothing but discouragement, right? Right? It might be your own voice that's sitting there. If that's the case, the only thing you can tell yourself is discouraging stuff. Get somebody else to start talking. Okay? Do what you've got to do. All right? But here's the thing, and it really brings it back to what we're all about. The ultimate, courage also, the courage that matters, the courage that lasts, the courage that doesn't run out, none of it comes from us. Not only does it not come naturally, we actually don't have it, right? It only comes from our Creator. God created courage, right? So he's going to be the one that gives it. He's going to be our source. We look at our verse of the year where we commit everything that we do to the Lord. We can trust him that he will help us. That's where courage comes from. It comes from that commitment. And so if you're sitting there right now, it's like, I have no idea where I'm going to get this from. Hey, ask. Ask for it. God loves it when we just ask. Right? Talk about it with some people here. If you're on your way back, if you're going, if it's kind of a road trip or anything like that, talk about it. Get practical. Seriously. Write it down. Next time I get discouraged, I'm going to blank. I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember what I heard at rally. I'm going to look at this verse. I'm going to call this friend. Whatever it needs to be, it's going to happen. Okay? And that's okay. I'm not sitting here, that's just going to happen no matter what you're doing in life. But we can be encouragers as we do that. And by the way, if you're being discouraged at any moment, you know lots of other people can be, right? Assume that they are. Assume that they need your encouragement. And give it to them. They're going to love it. Even if it feels a little awkward, even if they don't react the way you thought they would, you don't ever need to regret being encouraged. Ever, ever, ever. Just because you don't know how to say it doesn't mean you shouldn't say it. Give it a shot anyway. Fumble through it, whatever. They'll think it's cute. And encourage you. One of the other things I heard as I close, by the way, I only have one close. I know it's sometimes when I've heard there can be 2, 3, 4 closes. But this is a big one. You're going to like this. Something that I've heard a lot this week, either implied or even spoken about directly, is how often Andy would talk about God doesn't make a nobody, right? We're all a somebody. All of somebody. We saw it earlier. We saw that one quote where he's given it. It's the 1998 address, which is so good, by the way. I know many of you have seen different parts of that or all of that. Yeah, that is such a good one. But what a legacy to sit here and hear from people on this stage who are saying those very words, right? Who are saying that, who are saying, hey, I'm a somebody. Because of that, this is what I do. And I share it with others. And we're looking for those one somebodies. But one of the things that he brings up as we look at it, he had this one quote. As you look at the screen. We just heard it maybe an hour ago. But one of the fascinating things to me about Andy and Joan and Premier Designs is he sits there right before this and he's saying, don't you dare go out and share this if you're just going to drop it, right? I'm summarizing. I'm not nailing everything he says. But he's like, don't you dare do that. Now, let me just step aside for a second. I've never been a part of a company where the founder says, don't you dare go out and sponsor someone. Okay? But Andy did. Right? He said, don't you dare share it if you're not ready to work with them. If you're not committed to be with them. Don't you dare do that. And you know what? I could even tell you probably this time last year, I probably would have thought, that sounds really good. Don't know that I agree with that. Okay? But I got to tell you, I agree with that. Now then, don't get me wrong. I really want all of you to share what Premier has in someone's life because I just know, you know it, people need it. And they can't get it unless we share it. But if you're not prepared to do what it takes to do that, and not just the sponsoring part, the sponsoring doesn't end with enrollment, right? It's just the beginning. It starts. That's why the Sparkle Plan is so important. But he goes on to say, we're not out to get the thousands. We're not out to get the hundreds. We're not out to get the tens. We're looking for that one somebody who has a need that we can meet. That's what we're here to do, guys. If you're a jeweler, you are part of your mission and part of your even role in how you help Premier spread the mission is you share it with others. You help them be a part of it. And so, something that we want to do is we want to kind of jump on this a little bit. We want to really take hold of this concept. Okay? Now then, we're going to have what's called the One Somebody promotion. It's only going to be in August. Okay? But I got to tell you, before I show you the details of this, this is not about just going out and going crazy and having a sponsored frenzy. If that happens, great. But I'm going to tell you what I just said. Don't you dare take advantage of this if you're not ready to do the work that comes after it. Okay? We want to, now with the different tools in place, the streamlined way to join, and the new renewal package, and the Sparkle Plan, we want to give you an opportunity to put those things to use. We want to give you an opportunity to put it into action. Okay? And we want to do it with the spirit that this company was built on. So that's what the One Somebody promotion is all about. Let me show you what this is. So between now and the end of this month, every single jeweler has a One Somebody link. What's a One Somebody link, you might be asking yourself? Let me tell you. You can use this link and give it to anyone. What? And they can become a jeweler at no cost for 5 months. Oh my goodness. Okay? Oh, wow. Now then, we know all of our different options, $45 a month, $395, $795. What you do when you become a jeweler at any of those levels is well worth it. It's worth it. But I also know there are some of you that feel like you don't have the confidence to share. Okay? But if you find yourself in a position to where, you know what, I'm ready to talk to my one somebody. I'm ready to work with them. I can follow the Sparkle plan. I know what we can do here. I'm ready to do that. And we want to give you every single opportunity to do that. All right? So this is the way it'll work. They can use the link. They can become a jeweler. No cost for 5 months. So it's not just a month. They will be a jeweler until January next year, because we want you just dedicated to them. They can decide if they're going to renew at the end of that. Our hope is obviously that they will. But your link can only be used once. Okay? So this isn't 10 somebodies, not 100 somebodies. Okay? Once it gets used, it's gone. If somebody else tries to use it, it won't work. Okay? This is a one somebody.
Yeah.
All right? And so you be praying about who is that person that you want to be your one somebody. Okay? As we look at some more of the details of this, now there are some costs on this. So as you do this, we'll obviously be shipping them a welcome kit. Okay? They don't get with this promotion. They're not getting like one of the boutiques or anything like that. Okay? So obviously if somebody wants to take advantage of that, hey, they're there. Take advantage of it. Okay? If somebody wants to come in, we will send them the welcome box and everything that is in that. Okay? And your partnership with us on that is essentially like a jeweler share. It would be billed in September, won't be billed right away. We'll send you the details on that, which is $20 for that one time. Okay? And this is how you're serving them. All right? And helping them, and they get those items so they can get started. A new jeweler, if they come in during this time, they'll also get a link that they can share.
Wow.
It will end August 31st. Okay? So they need to take advantage of that, but they will get it. And then any unused links, they will disappear on September the 1st. Okay, this isn't a permanent program. This isn't in place to, let's just go crazy and get as many people in as we possibly can. That is not what this is. I cannot underscore this enough. This is for you. And by the way, it's not just rally registrants. It's any active jeweler. It's for you to put into practice everything that we just talked about. Okay? To step in, take your next step. If you're ready to share and work alongside someone, that this is something great for you to be able to take advantage of. Okay? So, you can go to your website. It is a really, really long link because there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So you want to go in there and copy and paste it. Okay? Definitely do that. But it's going to be at the top of your dashboard. All right? Right there for you to go grab. Obviously you can do whatever you want to with this link. But just remember, once it gets used, it's gone. So this isn't about, let me text 20 of my friends and see which one of them uses it first. Okay? That's not really sponsoring. Okay? That's closer to spamming, right? Talk to someone. Let them know what's possible here. Reach out to them. And by the way, you're the one that's got to work with them all this time. So make sure it's somebody you want to work with, right? Okay? That's very, very important. All right? But it's going to be there. This is our one somebody promotion. Who's excited about this right now? We're excited to see what you do. I'm excited to see you as you step in to helping new people do this. Keep in mind, you don't need a one somebody promotion to do that. We're just giving you kind of a little, it's kind of getting that heart muscle in check again. We're going to get this little muscle, the sharing muscle, going a little bit more for you. And hopefully you take advantage of that and you see, hey, this is powerful. You know what? And this, again, if this one somebody is all you do between now and next rally, that is fine by me. Okay? If you don't take advantage of it because you don't feel like you're ready, that is fine by me. But if you are ready, I want you to do it. And I want you to tell your team about it because we're really excited about this and what it can mean. So, has it been a great rally? I think it's been a great rally. By the way, real quickly, as I close, I want you to, they'll hear you in the back, but we all know, especially members of our marketing team, Bob Bolander, what he does up here for this show.